What's up, little gamers? This is Little Moni, and today we'll be playing Cinderella Phenomenon Chapter 2. So let's go ahead and get to it! I don't see why this is necessary. Of course this is necessary, Princess. You work to show you can be useful. For the last half hour, Parfait and Delora have been debating what chores they want to give me. I cannot believe they are seriously going to make me work like a commoner. No freeloaders at the March-In, remember? And you can't pull the princess card anymore now that you are a homeless peasant. Delora is just having fun with her, oh my gosh. Being demoted to a homeless peasant is not my fault. True. If you really think about it, it was kind of me to demote you. Stop teasing her, Delora. Iris has had a lot thrown at her already. I'm only speaking the truth. Besides, working to live is the commoner's way of life, but at least it's rewarding. But if you do nothing, you get nothing. No food, no clothes, no bed. You are no longer a princess, Iris. Life here at the March-In is comfortable and you need to work for comfort. Remember that. What you do is your choice, princess. Do I even have a choice? No, not really. Oh, no, really, no. Let's see. How about cooking duties? No way, she'd burn a salad. That's saying that she's a really bad cook because you don't even cook salad. You just put things together. She could be a receptionist? Oh, I'm not a people person. Then we'll lose all of our customers. Exactly. I agree with Delora. That's probably true. I am right here, you know. Sorry. Do you have any useful skills at all? Dang! Roasted. As a princess, I had servants who did everything for me. They cleaned my room, helped me dress. How am I expected to possess skills for things I've never done? I found the perfect job for our Cinderella. Cleaning. Is it? Yep, exactly. Ta-da! Iris will be in charge of sweeping the March-In floors. What? Perfect. Even she should be able to do that. Could you, princess? I refuse. But look, I even put a cute little ribbon on the broom just for you. It's your very own special broom. A princess does not clean. Hard-headed as ever. Don't worry, I have to fix for this. Oh. Is it gonna move by itself? Like in Sleeping Beauty? Suddenly a broom flies into my hands. I am pulled helplessly along as the thing begins to sweep the floors. It's a free ride. I try to pull my hands away, but they may as well be glued to the broom. They do not budge. What have you done? You should be thanking me. I'm helping you with your duties. Delora, isn't this a little too much? Oh, nonsense. The princess is learning useful new skills. Mr. Broom will teach her everything she needs to know. If the floor is dirty, Mr. Broom will come to life and start sweeping, and it will not stop until the floors are spotless. What? Come on, Parfait. We got time for a cup of tea. But she'll be fine. A little sweeping never killed anyone. I mean, unless she sweeps into exhaustion. Oh my gosh. You are dreadful. Enjoy your time with Mr. Broom. Wait! Did they really just leave? Sweeping away! Hey, slow down! The broom begins to sweep faster. Despite my protest, I am still forced like a puppet to sweep the floors with grudgy tenacity. Ooh, at least it's squeaky clean. Spotless. Oh, I love that cute little face. It's cute. I can barely catch my breath after that. Princess Parfait sent me to check How lovely! It's so clean I could see my reflection on the floorboards. I'm impressed. Do not even think about stepping into this room with your dirty shoes. Goodness, I didn't know princesses could be such a terrifying creatures. You are aware that the margin is opening soon, yes? The floor isn't going to stay clean forever. Then do not open the margin. I do sympathize with you, princess. It's difficult adjusting to the commoner's life. What would you know about that? More than you think. What? Oh, did I let that slip? That was my mistake. Huh, that gives us a hint. Maybe Karma was part of a noble family? Who knows? We'll see. Karma just smiles at me, his eyes gleaming with playful mischief. Mischief or mischief? I think it's mischief. He's definitely hiding something. My hands are red and sore from all the sleeping I've done today. I remember the salve Anis offered me when I first woke up in my room. Surely that will help somewhat. I applied it to my hands and find, to my surprise, that it was very effective. Effective +1. Most of the redness quickly fades along with the pain. Is this what my life will be like if I do not break the curse? Forced to work day in and day out? Wow, welcome to reality, girlfriend. I cannot let things stay as they are. I must act. I lay down to rest. Tiredness falls upon me like a heavy, suffocating blanket. I close my eyes and feel myself shift into the darkness of sleep. Despite having slept for hours, I'm still tired when I awake. I glance back at my hands and remember that salve's effectiveness. Whatever Anis gave me really works. I should ask her to make me more. I feel like this is not the last time I will need it. I must act quickly. The sooner I break the curse, the better. The people who offer to help me are all here. Whom should I ask for help? Ooh. Should we ask for help? Or should we say, I could break the curse on my own? I mean, Rod wasn't very kind of helpful. Rumple is kind of not here at the moment. He has amnesia, so let's not. Karma, I don't know. Karma feels like he's in a loots right now. He has his own issues. Maybe Waltz? I feel like Waltz would be our best bet. Maybe? Let's try him. He was just here earlier. Maybe he went back inside. I stop and stare at the small orbs of light floating around the room. What is going on? Oh no, this isn't it. I watch in awe as Waltz snaps his finger and all the orbs disappear with a pop. Oh, princess! What are you doing? Practicing my next magic trick. I still haven't perfected it. How come you're able to use magic? Are you a witch? A fairy? A good magician never reveals his secrets. Is he a witch or a fairy? I'm assuming that he's a witch. Right. Do you need anything? I take a deep breath. Can you teach me about goodness? Huh? Why do you look so surprised? Well, it's just that I didn't think you'd come to me for help. If you don't want to... No, that's not it at all. I'm happy you asked me. What would you like to know about goodness? How do you do a good deed? That is a very broad question. I don't think I gave you a specific example. Then how do I do good? Wow, that's really sad if someone has to ask that to someone. The easiest way to do good is to make someone happy. So a good deed will involve making someone happy? How do I do that? I stare in horror at the floor. Gravel and sand are embedded between the floorboards. The wood beneath my feet is covered in a thick musk. Uh-oh. Here he comes, Mr. Broom. Are we ready for this? Oh no. Sleeping time! Stop! I never thought I'd see this. The princess is actually sweeping. I say it's more like the broom is sweeping and the princess is just along for the ride. Lady Parfait, your orders have arrived. Where should I put them? At the back, please. Thank you. I glare at Garland as he begins to move. You... You are dirtying the floor. Sorry. Garland dashes across the floor with long steps in an attempt to leave as few prints as possible. This was Dolores' doing, wasn't it? Isn't it obvious? This has witch having fun written all over it. I need water. Wow, completely spotless. You are the worst. Oh, we hurt his feelings. Don't be mad at the broom, princess. It's only trying to help. It is doing nothing but making my life miserable. Lady Parfait, I must speak with you. I look up at the witch that has just entered. She's a regular at the Marchant, and according to Parfait and Delora, a good witch. She orders tea here from time to time. She has mud on her shoes. Why is she glaring at me like that? I believe it's because of your shoes, dear. I've just cleaned the floor. Oh, I am so sorry. I will clean up after myself right away. Good. The princess is something else. I never seen a witch so frightened of someone before. Yeah. That's the ice princess for you. The witch hurriedly cleans up the track she made coming in before going to speak with Parfait. Even though Parfait says that Delora and this witch is good, I do not trust her judgment. Especially not when she considers Delora, who ruined my life, a good person. Oh my gosh, shut it, Iris. Ugh. I put the broom back in the resting place before double checking my work. Now that I am done, I can continue to work on breaking my curse. Whom should I ask for help today? Suri asked Waltz, so he said that we can make someone happy. I guess we should ask Rod something? I feel like, yeah. I glance over at Rod as he enters the tavern. That was almost perfect timing. I heard from Parfait that Rod does not intend to break his curse, yet here he is again. What? Why doesn't he want to break his curse? Rod must sense my eyes on him because the minute he walks in, he turns to look at me. His expression is as cold and unmoving as always. He pointed leaves at the tavern area and entered the reception. I follow after him. I told you to find someone else. What can I do to make you stop hating me? What? You said that whatever I've done to you and your family was bad, so if I reverse that, I might get a good deed. You truly don't understand how goodness works, do you? I would not be asking you if I did. Rod closes his eyes and rubs his back of his neck. He looks thoughtful, but also irritated. I intend to break my curse as soon as possible, and I will do whatever it takes. And it seems to me the easiest way to achieve a good deed is to fix the supposedly bad things I've already done. So are you going to help me or not? No comment, he said. Tell Lady Parfait I will see her another time. Dang, he just left. He said yeet. He leaves the room without answering my questions. I ball my hands into a fist, like that Arthur meme, and he calls me the cruel one. Well, Rod wasn't helpful at all. A month has passed and I have yet to complete one good deed, not for any lack of trying though. I have been asking around for advice on how to be a good person and receive various answers. What makes a good person? I'd say being selfless. He did not say that. He said that you have to make someone happy. Am I right? Or maybe I just misread it. I think it's important that you consider another person's feelings. Patience. Rod, you didn't even give me a answer, so no. The ability to soothe even the most broken of hearts, of course, that would be coming from him. Forget I asked. Thank you, Iris. Bravery. Loyalty. You must be beautiful both inside and out. Oh, okay, Karma. Yes, we stand. Right. I feel like, when we say that question to someone, like, what does goodness mean to you? Or like, I think it just depends on someone's morals. And so each one differs. Must I be all those things in order to be good? No, girl. You have to figure out what goodness means to you. According to Parfait, I cannot just pretend. It has to come from my heart. Exactly. I place my hand on my chest and consider the steady pulse of my heartbeat. That would not be easy, especially for you, sis. Good luck. I close my eyes, thinking of all the possible ways I might be able to break my curse, but in the end, my mind is blank. Mother, what am I supposed to do? Girl, that's the penultimate, not even the penultimate, the last person you should be asking. A dream? Oh, here we go, another flashback. Your personal feelings are nothing but a weakness for others to exploit. Oh no, I don't like the mother. This is why you do not show them. You only show them that you are strong. No, you gotta show you gotta show people, like, not show your people weaknesses, but you gotta show, it's okay to cry in front of others. It's showing, you gotta show emotion, and that proves that that you're strong, like you're capable. You know what I'm saying? I know it probably, let's just continue, whatever. Yes, mother. You must not let falseness, kindness deceive you. That is true. People will use niceties, that's a word, to trick you into exploiting your weak emotions. Oh, but you can trust me, Iris. I'll never hurt you. I will never lie to you. I am all you need. Oh no. I love you, Iris. I love you too, mother. Oh, hell no. No. The mom is canceled. Again. And forever will be. How are those lessons of yours going? I hope you're not giving anyone a difficult time. I am the only one having a difficult time. Have you tried pairing up with someone? Pairing up? Some of the people in the tavern pair up to assist each other. Two heads are better than one, as they say. It's not a bad idea, but the problem is with her. Who's going to volunteer to pair up with the Ice Princess? Exactly. I mean, personally, I wouldn't. She has a point. People may not glare at me anymore, but it does not escape me that I am still disliked. Most of the boarders of the marchand volunteer to help her, remember? And I haven't heard any of them retract their offers. It's only a matter of time. Stop it, Dolora. It's your choice, Princess. Pairing up is only a suggestion. Would pairing up with someone really help me break my curse? What if they end up being an annoyance instead? Princess? Excuse me? Princess? I'm sorry for disturbing you, but you've just been staring at your tray and the customer is waiting for his order. Of course. Dolora has me helping Ennis today. The market is unexpectedly busy and they cannot keep up with all their customers. Stop daydreaming, Iris. Food doesn't deliver itself. I do not need you to tell me that. I stretch out on my bed. The stiff mattress does little to soothe my aching muscles. I was on my feet the entire day, struggling to keep up with the steady stream of people that came into the Marchen. I've never seen the Marchen this busy. I roll into my stomach and bury my face into my pillow. My arms and legs protest the movement. I refuse to live this type of life much longer. I need to break this curse as soon as possible. Why don't you pair up with someone? Pairing up might not be such a bad idea. Who are we going to pair up with, though? Ooh. Ooh. Who are we going to pair up? Can we choose? Should we pair Karma? Oh, let's pair up with Rod first. Closest to the family? Why not? Chapter 3, A Change of Pace. Okay. We'll do 2 chapters in this video, so let's get to it. I will ask Rod if he will pair up with me. I know we do not have a good relationship. Rod has spared no effort in telling me how cruel I have been to his family. But I feel that rectifying whatever mistakes I made with him might be an easy way to get 3 good deeds. Oh, this is going to be very interesting. But Iris, didn't he tell you that he didn't want to break his curse? Yes, but that may not be the whole truth. He is reluctant to break his curse despite all the advice I have offered him. Perhaps you will be able to encourage him where I could not. I do not care if he does not want to break his curse. I only need him to help me remedy the supposedly bad things I have done to his family. I believe that will be the easiest way to break my curse. But the problem is that I rarely see him here. He is usually at the palace. In order for the arrangement to work, I will need to be in the palace. I, for one, think it's a terrible idea. What if... Dolores' voice trails off. She averts her gaze to the floor, her expression a mixture of anxiety and solemn consideration. What if what? Is there something I should know? Both the witch and the fairy just stare at me silently. After a few moments, Parfait speaks. You would be far away from us, princess. We would not be able to assist you. Witches could be lying in wait for you, knowing that you are the true crown princess of Angel. They might seek to use you for their own purposes. What sort of purposes? Why would the witches be after me in the first place? Many of them have been corrupted by the Tenebarium. Darkness has invaded their hearts, making them bitter. Many of them simply want to see the fairy tale curses continue on undisturbed. This is all just a speculation, but it's better to be safe rather than sorry. What would you have me do? Delora? I have an idea. I think I can get her into the palace and make sure there is someone there to look out for her. How? Just trust me. Tomorrow the Ice Princess returns to her palace. I have a bad feeling about this. Oh my gosh, am I in a maid outfit? This cannot be happening. Don't dilly-dally. The princess will soon be awake and expecting her new maid. I close my eyes and suppress the urge to groan. How is it that Delora was able to turn me into Emmeline's personal maid? She thought this would be funny, did she? Well, I'll make her pay for this. I expect you not to be late again. We have very strict rules on how the palace staff should behave. I'm not exactly sure how Delora managed this. She told me she was going to cast a spell on me and that it would be over as soon as I opened my eyes. I closed my eyes and sure enough, when I opened them, I found myself here in a maid uniform. What did she do? The maid continues to babble at me. How annoying. I pretend to listen to her as she leads me through the palace hallways. Emmeline and Rod's chambers are located here. Oh! We came to a halt when Emmeline suddenly appears from around the corner. Your Highness. The maid ducks into a neat curtsy. Emmeline's eyes meet mine and tense as I wait for any signs of recognition for her, but she only gives me a curious look as if wondering who I am. She clearly does not recognize me. The maid suddenly reaches back and pulls my shoulder, forcing me into a bow. You are in front of the Crown Princess of Angel. Show some respect, girl. My apologies, Your Highness. She is new and clearly needs to be taught some manners. Excuse me? Oh, please, there's no need for that. What is she trying to achieve by pretending to be kind to a palace maid? Who is she trying to fool? Your Highness, this is your new personal maid. Emmeline glances at the maid, looking confused. Why do I need a personal maid? It is by the king's order, princess. Emmeline turns to look at me again. What is your name? She is talking to you, girl. I scowl at the maid before facing Emmeline. I cannot believe I have fallen so low that I am now being ordered around by a maid. Iris. It's nice to meet you, Iris. I hope we could get along. When I do not respond, Emmeline's face falls. I was just heading to breakfast with my family. Of course, Iris will escort you to the dining hall. I raise my eyebrows at the maid, irritated. There's no need for concern. I can get there on my own. I breathe a sigh of relief. I am not here to babysit her. The maid leans forward and whispers something in my ear. I do not know how it is that you landed this position, but you owe the royal family your diligence and respect. If you continue to show disrespect, I'll be having a word with the king. The maid pushes me forward so that I am forced to stand next to Emmeline. She will escort you to the dining hall, Your Highness. Her job requires that she follow you everywhere in case you require assistance with anything. But it is almost time for breakfast, Princess Emmeline. Emmeline frowns and looks at me. I'm so sorry. What is she apologizing for? Good morning. Good morning. It seems that you have met your personal maid. The king's eyes widen as soon as he spots me. You look familiar. Does he recognize me? I feel a little tremble in my heart as I consider that hope. Are you not the girl who came to the gates before? I deflect with a soundless sigh. He remembers me as the peasant. This is the first time I'm meeting you as Emmeline's personal maid. What is your name? Iris. That is a lovely name. We are glad to have you here, Iris. The king gives me a warm smile. The softness of his gaze makes me angry. He never treats me so kindly when he remembered me as his own daughter. Emmeline takes her seat while I walk to stand at the walls besides the other maids and butlers. The door opens and Rod walks inside. He greets the king, Ophelia, and then his sister. He is just about to take a seat when his eye suddenly falls on me. The shock is apparent on his face. He's like, oh my gosh, not her. Rod, is something wrong? I see there's a new maid on staff. His tone is almost accusatory. I bristled at his words, and I am about to say something when Ophelia speaks. She's Emmeline's new personal maid, Iris. Rod stares at me for a few moments, expressions unreadable. Eventually he moves to take his seat. I stand silent and watch the royal family eat their breakfast. The small area is filled with happy conversation. The four of them smile at each other when they speak, and it is so easy to see how comfortable they all are with one another. When I was still here, our meals were always so quiet, but everyone looks so happy now. I bite my lip to will the heavy feeling away. Rod told me that before, but I did not want to believe him. I turned back to the conversation at hand. We have something very important to discuss with you, Emmeline. Oh? I have brought this up before, but now the matter is more pressing. Is this about? Yes, this is about the ball. Ophelia gives Akin a disapproving look. Dear, I know it seems a strange proposition, but this is a royal tradition. Emmeline is at a suitable marrying age, and this ball may yet help her find her suitor. But a husband? Emmeline's cheeks are tinted pink. A royal ball for Emmeline? For her to find a husband? I never would have agreed to such a thing. The king never forced into one because he knew that. I will not force you to marry someone you do not love, Emmeline. We agreed on the ball to uphold tradition. All eligible bachelors will be invited in 4 months' time, and you would choose the man you want to court you. I did find my true love through a ball, after all. He glances at Ophelia, who responds with a fond smile. Her expression falls back into something more worried than she looks at her daughter. But what if I can't choose anyone? We will throw one ball as per tradition. We will not force you into another ball if you do not find a good suitor, but we must uphold traditions at least once. Perhaps this will push you to think more about the future. I would not put any added pressure on you, Emmeline, but I would be happy to see grandchildren before I have to give up my throne. I am not getting any younger, you know. Father! I can tell the king is trying to make light of the situation, but there is an undertone of seriousness. Emmeline eventually sighs, then slowly nods. I understand. My gaze shifts to Raj. Whoa. Let's back up the truck. My gaze shifts to Rod to search for a reaction, but his expression is impassive. No reaction at all. Did he know this was going to happen? But can I really be the princess the kingdom of Angel deserves? I feel so unprepared. You are the crown princess of Angel. You must be confident. Emmeline looks down, looking genuinely distressed. I'm finished. May I be excused? But sweetheart, you barely touched your food. You may. Emmeline stands up and ducks into a quick curtsy before rushing from the room. I do not move until I feel Rod's glare on me. I realize that I am meant to follow Emmeline. Excuse me. I curtsy and follow after Emmeline. I barely make it a few steps away from the dining hall before the door flies open and Rod is rushing after me. What are you doing here? Answer him, I guess. I'm here to break my curse. You expect him to believe that when you had all the people offering to help at the march-in? Rod's expression changed, anger clear in his eyes. No, I know why you're really here. What are you talking about? You thought you might take back what is rightfully yours, didn't you? You have no qualms about hurting my family again. Qualms, yeah. Wow, in this manga or a novel, this visual novel, they're using big words. I like it. I stare at him, nonplussed by his accusations. You see? Wow, some of y'all going to be learning some new words over here. I carefully quell. Oh, you see? The simmering anger inside of me. Dang. Big word city. The last thing I want is to be fired before I break my curse. I'm not here to hurt anyone, so stop accusing me of such things. We glare at each other in silence. I had always thought that Rod was closed off and quiet, but his emotions are always blazing in his eyes. You shouldn't be here. Rod steps back, but his gaze is still fierce. I do not have time for this. I am going to find Emmeline. Why, so you can insult her? No, because it is now my job to attend to her. Excuse me. Dang, I felt like this like anger, fiery, like oof, tension going on there. I love it. The last place I expect to find Emmeline is in the throne room. Much to my surprise, I find her standing alone inside, staring up at the throne. Oh. When she turns to face me, she has a guilty expression on her face. I'm sorry. What is she apologizing for? I was very rude earlier, walking out on everyone at breakfast. Emmeline gazes back at the throne and sighs. I'm sure any other girl would be happy to have a ball. I mean, it's like something out of a fairy tale. But she sighs once again and looks down at her collapsed hands. It all sounds so perfect in fairy tales. 3 days is all it takes before everyone found their true love. Girl, I haven't even found my true love, so it's alright. But I don't think that's how it works out here in real life, do you? No, it doesn't work like that. I'm speaking from experience. I have nothing to say in response when Emmeline turns her beseeching gaze to me. I don't know how I'm supposed to marry someone I barely even know. I'm so glad we don't live back then, guys. So imagine being like married to someone that we barely even know, even worse, to a stranger. That's just crazy. And I know that it's still happening nowadays, but it's just too crazy, man. It's sad, really. Is this really what it means to be a crown princess? Isn't this precisely what you wanted? Excuse me? When your mother married the king, you became a princess. You went from rags to riches overnight. I cannot keep the bitterness from my voice when I speak. Your life is playing out like Cinderella's, is it not? All you are missing are the glass slippers, and even then I am sure the king could arrange for a pair. I cannot understand why you are so unhappy. Neither can I. Oh, look, she's crying. Emmeline turns away from me to face the throne once more. In the sun, the stream through the windows, I could see something shining on her cheeks. Is she crying? I am so ungrateful. Iris, what would you do? What? If you were in my place, if you became crown princess overnight, would you go through with the ball? For the sakes of Angeliel's tradition, for the sake of your role, I would never do anything so worthless. The king never brought up the subject with me. He most likely knew I would have refused. Emmeline suddenly pats her cheeks and turns to me, a weary smile on her face. I could do with some fresh air. Shall we go to my friend's shop in the town? We have only just exited the throne room when Emmeline stops short and I almost bump into her back. Oh, Your Highness, what a pleasant... Sir Mithras abruptly stops and stares at me. Why is Sir Mithras looking at me so intently? Is something the matter, Sir Mithras? No, nothing at all, Your Highness. I am just amused. Amused? Oh, you haven't met my new maid. This is Iris. Iris? There is something in Sir Mithras' grace that I do not trust. The silence is stifling, so I curtsy at him. Sir? Charming. Ugh, he's a creep! Sir Mithras turns his attention back to Emmeline. Where are you off to on this pleasant day? Oh, just off to visit a friend. Make sure you bring your guards with you, princess. Oh, suspicious. Of course. I wonder what's taking him so long. Emmeline decides to invite Rod to join us on her visit. One of the guards offered to get Rod for her, but he still hasn't yet to return. Another stands with us by the gates, ready to escort us into town. Why does the king even keep these incompetent fools if they cannot find a single person? Oh, my voice was changing. Ooh. Maybe we should go look for Rod. But then, what if he gets here as soon as we go searching for him? I sigh. I will go look for him. You could stay here. But you don't need to run errands for me. She has yet to ask me to do anything. What does she think a maid even does? I look at her solemnly. I can't even. What the heck? What's going on with me today? I look at her solemnly. There you go. Not answering her. Finally, she relents. At this, I'm just like, when you read so much, all the words just jumble up together. I don't know. It's just crazy. Or it's just probably me. I'm going crazy. It's okay, guys. I'm fine. Everything's fine. Thank you, Iris. I incline my head just slightly before walking off. I feel like a babysitter. I cannot believe I have to search for Rod. This is only slightly better than being dragged around by that broom. I turned around the corner and nearly bumped into someone. I take a few steps back just in time. Princess? Oh! Did he just say princess? I look up in shock. Fritz's surprise mirrors my own. Where have you been? I've been looking for you everywhere. He pauses to stare at my clothing. Why are you wearing a maid's uniform? Fritz, do you remember who I am? I would never forget you, Princess Iris. Bro! So that means he's cursed. But it does seem like I'm the only one who remembers you. What is going on, Princess? The only people who remember me are the witches, fairies, and Fritz. Are you? I stop when I hear the sound of approaching footsteps. Fritz turns at the sound and then stoops low into a formal bow when he sees Rod. Your Highness? Rod's impassive face twists with annoyance when he sees me. Rod does not even acknowledge Fritz as he walks past him to stop in front of me. Shouldn't you be attending to my sister? I don't understand. Prince Rod, do you know why the princess is dressed like this? Rod is clearly just as surprised as I am that Fritz remembers me. You recognize her? You remember the princess too? But if you knew, why didn't you say anything when she first went missing? And can someone explain to me why she's attending to Princess Emmeline? This is... Fritz? I cut him off before he can ask any more questions. I feel Rod's gaze on my back as I turn to look at Fritz. No more questions. But Princess, right now I am a palace maid. A what? It is a long story and I have no time to explain now, so do not ask. Fritz is clearly discontent. He seemed to struggle for a few moments, but finally sighs and nods. Yes, Your Highness. Though it is nice to hear someone speak my title, it will not do if Fritz calls me that on accident. It is just Iris for now. But I turn to face Rod. Emmeline is waiting. What? The guard could not even deliver her message? Where are you going? Emmeline wants to visit her friend's shop in town, and she wants you to go with us, Rod. Town? Ordinarily, I would not mind Fritz joining us, but right now he might just be unnecessary company. He may very well give me away. Rod barely wants to speak with me when it was just the two of us. Doubt Fritz would make him more sociable. I'm assuming that the accompany you is not an option at this point. Yes. Fritz looks down for a moment before looking at Rod. I'm sorry to ask this of you, Your Highness, but since she refuses to let me do so, please look after the Princess Iris in my place. He's like, no. How about not? Ridiculous. I do not need to be cuddled. Even if I did, Rod couldn't care less if I'm hurt. I would do my best, Sir Fitzgerald. I cannot tell if he's being genuine or not. Girl, he isn't. Fritz bows to the both of us. Stay safe, Iris. And you, Your Highness. Rod turns and begins to walk away without another word. come on. Rod is silent as we make our way back to the palace gates. I am still thinking about what he said to Fritz earlier. What would Rod agree to Fritz's request? Because he just wanted to leave. I stare at Rod's back as he walks in front of me. Sometimes I cannot figure out what he's thinking. Rod, Iris! Emmeline beams when she catches sight of us. Are you ready? Rod crosses his arms. He does not look happy with his sister. Even though Rod is younger, I cannot help but think that he often sounds like the older of the two. I am busy, Emmeline. I cannot keep dropping everything whenever you want to leave the palace. I'm sorry, but I just really need some fresh air today. You can get plenty of fresh air on the palace grounds. I felt I needed to be off the palace grounds. Emmeline's face drops as she looks down at the ground. Rod lets out an exasperated sigh before stepping inside the carriage. Come on. Rod? Just for an hour, okay? Thank you. I soon come to realize that it's easier to walk around town now that everyone has forgotten who I am. The atmosphere and around town feels brighter. All the spiteful stares are gone. Princess Emmeline! Oh, how are you doing? Is your wife feeling better? Emmeline has responded to most of the people who know her. She seems to know a good majority of the people in town. I hang back as Emmeline speaks with the man. The night escorts hover somewhere nearby, watching for disturbances. We are going to take longer than an hour if she continues like this. I am not going to rush her. Don't you need to return to the palace to continue whatever work it is that you were doing? Rod raises an eyebrow at me. I don't have to get back to my studies, but my family always comes first. If this makes Emmeline happy, then I'll gladly come with her to town. It's a small thing. Happy? I look more closely at Emmeline. She's smiling, but then she always smiles. I do not understand. She's more at ease talking to townspeople sometimes because they don't judge her. Why would she have to worry about being judged? Is it clear that everyone adores her? Emmeline takes the man's hand in hers as she wishes him well. Rod points out the gesture. See that? That's goodness. Dang! He's like, that's goodness, honey. Learn. You can learn something from my sister, Iris. There you go. Nothing said. Is goodness pretending to be interested in the lives of strangers? Oh my gosh, Iris. Emmeline eventually says her goodbye before walking towards a familiar store. This is the toy shop I visited with Emmeline and Rod before. I glance at Rod and notice the expression on his face. He seems conflicted. But why? But before I can ask, Rod marches in front of me and decisively pushes open the door. When I enter, Emmeline is already hugging the shop girl, Viorica. Oh my gosh. Emmeline, you look as beautiful as ever. Oh, please, I look the same. You, on the other hand. Emmeline steps back before nodding, a bright smile on her face. Being in love suits you. When is the wedding? Wedding? She was already engaged? I catch a small movement out of the corner of my eyes and turn to glance at Rod. I notice his fingers clench into a fist before he quickly hides his hand behind his back. Did Rod have a crush on her? Oh, something is juicy. It's getting steamy. Though his expression isn't impassive as always, I notice a tenseness in his shoulders. Desimond and I haven't set a date yet, but it should be soon. Would you? Viorica trails off when she noticed the rest of us. Hello, Rod. Viorica. His tone is surprisingly static. Last time he was here, I was sure he sounded friendlier. So what can I help you with, Emmeline? Looking for another doll? Another doll? But Emmeline is not interested in dolls. Oh no, I'm just here to see you. I can't stay for long since Rod has things to do. Emmeline, I'll wait for you outside. Oh, okay. I know it is my job to follow Emmeline around, but I'm not at all interested in hearing her talk to this girl. Does she even want me here? Stay with Emmeline? Let's go outside. Maybe we could talk to Rod. My time might be better spent trying to improve Rod's opinion of me. If I could get him to tell me precisely what I have done wrong, I can make up for it. I hope that would give me a good deed. I curtsied to the two girls. Excuse me, Your Highness, I shall wait outside with Rod. I coughed to clear my throat. With the prince. Oh, okay. I won't be long. I moved to stand next to Rod, who was leaning against the wall. Oh, we finally get like a little picture going on. Rod signs in annoyance. Why do you keep on following me? I love the little bunny on his shoulder. That is so cute. Oh, man. If you know someone who makes those, exactly that copy, please tell me, because I will surely buy one. It's too cute. Tell me how to rectify whatever wrong I've done to your family. This again? I cannot help but scowl at Rod's answer. You spout all the nonsense about goodness but refuse to help me. How is that good? You haven't given me any reason to help you. What? If you're not serious about genuinely learning how to be good, then I'm not interested in helping you. Maybe I can catch him off guard by bringing up his response in the toy shop just now. Fine, then I'll make a normal conversation. Who's Viorica to you? Dang! She just like bluntly straight to the point. She's like, who is that chick? Has she done something to hurt your family too? Viorica is a childhood friend. She is not like you at all. Oh, then why are you acting so cool to her? You obviously did not want to be inside the shop. Ron looks away from me and absently kicks a pebble on the ground. This is none of your business. I sigh, disappointed with Rod's reaction. Rod turns away from me as Emmeline exits the shop. Ready to go? Emmeline nods with a small smile. The two of us begin to make our way to the palace again. By the time we return to the palace, evening has fallen. I hope we were not late for dinner. Girl, it's already night. It's way past an hour. The minute the carriage doors open, we greeted by two familiar faces. Sir Alcaster and Sir Mithros stand before us. Oh, so he's new. Princess Emmeline, Prince Rod, I was on my way to look for you when Sir Mithros informed me about your whereabouts. He glares at the knight escort and knight shrinks back. Oh, he got in trouble. Sir Alcaster turns sharply to me afterwards, his eyes narrowed. Why is he looking at me like that? It was getting late and the queen was worried. I'm so sorry. Princess Emmeline, Prince Rod, it is almost time for dinner. Please let me escort you inside. Sir Mithros gestures for them to follow him. I'm about to follow after them when Sir Alcaster suddenly moves to block my path. His eyes are cold. He opens his mouth to say something, but then closes it and shakes his head. You're dismissed, girl. You may go back to your quarters. But this is an order. His gaze is piercing. Even when I was the princess, I was not able to stand up to that gaze. Yes, sir. After dinner, I make my way back to the room assigned to me. As I walk down the hall, I notice Rod heading in my direction. Rod? He suddenly grabs my arm and pulls me away, down the hall. Oh, what is this? A secret affair? Nah, I'm kidding. Where are you taking me? Rod does not answer and just continues moving until we reach an unfamiliar door. What is going on? Rod cuts me off by placing a finger on my lips. He looks around wearily before finally putting me in through the door with him. What is going on? Is he going to kill me? Is this going to turn into a murder scene? To be continued. Dun dun dun. This place. I have heard of this place before but have never seen it. Is this a secret passage that leads into town? Rod does not answer me. He simply keeps walking and I see no other option but to trail after him. How is it that you know this place? He still refuses to answer. Are you deaf? Rod suddenly stops and I bump into his back. I stumble back with a scowl. You ask too many questions. Because you refuse to answer any of them. I glare back at him until Rod makes an exasperated sound. Lady Parfait is the one who told me about this passage. It makes sneaking out of the palace easier. Parfait? She did not give me an explanation to how she knew of this place. There are only meant to be 2 copies of the keys. The king has one and Sir Alcaster has the other. Then why do you have a key? Don't tell me you stole it from the king. I am not a thief. Lady Parfait also has a copy. She saw fit to provide me with a key for my own use. What? How does Parfait have a key to the palace, to this place? You have to ask her that yourself. Once we step into town, I realize where it is that we are headed. We're going back to the Marchen. Dolores is the first person we see as soon as we enter the Marchen. Well, well, look what the cat dragged in. Dolores, you... Rod's glare silenced me. He steps forward and points back at me, gaze icy. She is not staying at the palace. What? Dolores raises an eyebrow. Why is that? She works there now. I do not know what game you are playing, but I will not be a part of it. Excuse me? This is not a game. I do not want you meddling in my life as you meddled with hers. The room's temperature drops several degrees. Dolores stares at Rod, her expression suddenly lacking any emotion. With all due respect, Your Highness, I do not want to meddle with your wallowing. But just because you do not wish to break your curse doesn't mean that others shouldn't want to either. You should be humbled that our princess here thought you would be able to help her. Rod raises an eyebrow. Where is Lady Parfait? Of course you want to talk Parfait, but she puts things nicely. Fine, I'll fetch her for you. Dolores curtsies as she sweeps out of the room. Rod sighs. He clearly looks irritated, but he doesn't put a voice to his agitation. Now that we're alone in the empty room, the silence is deafening. And so I asked him the question that bothers me since we came here. Why do you want me out of the palace? Why do you not want to break your curse? Let's do that one. Why do you not want to break the curse? I don't need to explain myself to you. Do you even know how to break your curse? I do. So why are you not doing anything? It's none of your business. I do not realize the anger inside of me at first, but then I notice that my hands are fists and that I am shaking. You are angry at me for treating your family with unkindness, and yet you do not treat me with any respect or kindness either. Excuse me? I realize that this is the angriest I felt in a long time, and it makes words fall out of my mouth. You are guilty of the same disrespect you hold me accountable for. We are both being cruel to family, aren't we? Rod's eyes are ablaze, and he stalks towards me. He stops right in front of me, his mouth pressed into a firm line. As you are so fond of telling Emmeline, we do not share any blood. The only thing pulling us together is the king, and you do not share his morals. Remember this, Iris. You will never be part of my family. Oh, dang. And I will never see you as a sister. Oh my gosh. Rod storms out of the reception area just as Dolores enters. Sorry, looks like Parfait wasn't in. She pauses and gives me a weary smile. Seems this partnership is going well. I throw my hands up in anger. He is infuriating. Not as helpful as you thought. I was surprised you were asking for his help in the first place. All I've been doing today is following around Emmeline, and he still finds a reason to snap at me. In his eyes, I can do nothing right, even though I am making an honest effort to break my curse. Dolores eyes me as she slides down into a chair. Has he told you anything about his curse? Only that he knows how to break it. Dolores sighs. Boys can be so secretive about the silliest things. Rod has been aware of how to break his curse from the very beginning. Then why hasn't he broken it? I have no idea. I think the only other person who knows the full terms and conditions of Rod's curse is Parfait. Parfait? Parfait has known Rod for a while. She convinced him to keep coming to the Marchen even after he gave up on breaking his curse. Parfait also thinks that working with you will convince Rod to try finding another way to break his curse. Another way? Don't ask me. I don't know much about his curse either. But if you keep trying, you might convince Rod to talk. I doubt that very much. It seems that all I'm doing is convincing Rod that I do not deserve to break my own curse. Dolores looks at me curiously for a few moments, then she grins. I have an idea. If it's another terrible idea... Oh no, this one's much better. I'll just stick around with you. You know, watch out for you. What? Delora, watch out for me? She cast another spell. What did she do? Oh, she's a doll. I'm surprised when Delora suddenly stands before me as her doll, in her doll form. I love the doll form. She's so cute. It reminds me of like the Bratz dolls for some reason. There's no way you and Rod are going to sort yourselves out without some kind of help, so I'll be tagging along. It's much easier when I'm travel size. Why do I feel like she's only making things worse? Come on then. Dolores somehow manages to jump into the front pocket of my apron. That's so cute, which is thankfully large enough to fit her doll body. Let's go find us a prince and get ourselves back to the palace. Alright, so those are chapter 2 and chapter 3 that we just finished playing / reading. Alright, chapter 4 will be on the next video, so until then, I'll see y'all later. Bye!